Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Bean here. Today I'm coming at you from my new location at the new place. I do apologize right now if there is a constant whirring in the background. I honestly don't know if you can hear it. That is the fan, because we do not have functioning AC right now and it is 85 degrees outside. So you'll have to forgive me, but there is a fan on because it's just too hot. So that being said, let's move on. Today I'm going to be coming at you with my wrap-up for the month of May. Now, in the month of May, how many books did I read? I read 14 books, which I will take. It's been a while since I've read that many books in a month, honestly. I haven't been doing the best as far as reading this year. It just hasn't been something that I've been able to do, and I have been busy doing a lot of things, and then I moved, and that's when this happened. So if you saw the video from last week, you would have seen me move. Everything is basically set up here now, so that's very exciting. Well, let's hop right into it, get started. The first book that I finished in the month of May is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I listened to the audiobook of this. I enjoyed it, honestly. I enjoyed it a lot more than I remember enjoying it. I think I gave it like a 3.5 last time, and I did give it a 4 this time. I did appreciate a lot more of the aspects of this book that I just didn't appreciate before, and maybe it's from writing fantasy, but all the little details and all the things that happened, all the foreshadowing, I really did appreciate quite a bit in this book. So this one got a 4 out of 5 from me. Alright, the next book that I finished was the Kaiju Preservation Society by John Scalzi. I ended up giving this a 4 out of 5. Basically, this follows our main character, Jamie, who is stuck at a job that he ends up losing at the beginning of the pandemic when that hits, and he ends up becoming a delivery driver for a food corporation. And he's basically down on his luck. He's about to lose his roommates because they also lost their jobs when he delivers food to a old college buddy of his who offers him a once-in-a-lifetime job that he takes that works with large animals in danger. And this book honestly does not take itself seriously. It is hilarious. It is so fun. It's well done, and I absolutely enjoyed every second of it. Was it predictable? Heck yes. It was so predictable, but it was so good, and I enjoyed it immensely. To hop through it quickly, next I reread all of Spy X Family, which includes Spy X Family Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5, Volume 6, and then I finally read Volume 7 of Spy X Family. This is a series that has just come out on Hulu and Crunchyroll as an anime, which we've been watching the anime as it comes out, and they did excellent on it. I highly recommend it. But I have been reading the manga basically since it came out, and I am anxiously waiting the 8th installment, which I believe is coming out in the fall, but I don't remember. For anyone who doesn't know, Spy X Family follows Spy X Family follows a man named Twilight who has given up his normal life in order to become a master spy. And for his latest mission, he needs to infiltrate a school, a preparatory school. And in order to do this, he needs to find a wife and child. So he goes and finds a child in an orphanage. She happens to be psychic. He doesn't know this. He ends up finding a wife at a clothing boutique, and she happens to be an assassin, and he doesn't know this. So it's all about these three people who are keeping secrets from each other, and attempting to figure out what it is and what it means to be a family. And it is the cutest thing ever, and I absolutely love it. I give all of these books somewhere between a 4 and a 5 every single time I read them, and they're just getting better and better as they go along. The next book that I read was I continued the Miss Marple series, and I read the 4th book, A Murder is Announced by Agatha Christie. This one I gave a 5 out of 5 for. I was very intrigued by it, and even though it is written in like the 30s or 40s, I believe, I do think some of the antics that happen in this book would still be applicable to today's society, which is a little sad, but that's kind of the way it goes. Basically, The newspaper comes out with a clipping that tells that there will be a murder and it will be at this person's house at this time, and it's foreshadowing a murder. And so of course people are super curious, and so they show up to see who gets murdered, because that's what they do for entertainment. And then there happens to be a murder. Well, yeah, so it was very interesting. It was very well done. I did kind of predict a little bit of the ending, but I didn't predict who did it exactly. I had an inkling, but I was off by like 2 people, so. The next book I read was a library book that I did have to return, and that is The World's Greatest Detective by Caroline Carlson. This is a middle grade story, and it was absolutely adorable. This one got a 3.5 out of 5 from me. This follows a street of detective homes. Basically, the entire street is a bunch of houses where detectives work and live, and this follows a boy who is sent to his uncle's house, and his uncle is a detective who has very few clients because there's one detective on the street who is the greatest detective, and he has been taking all of the clients. And so the detective invites all of these other lesser known or failing detectives to his house in order to solve a mystery. And then while everybody is there, a different mystery happens, and they have to figure out what occurred and what happened. And it was very interesting. I thought it was well done. The ending, once I got to a certain point, I knew exactly what was going to happen, unfortunately, but overall, it was very well done, and I really appreciated the writing for this one, and I think this is a great one to get a middle grade reader into reading more mysteries, for sure. So again, that one got 3.5 out of 5 from me. The next book that I read was an arc, actually, that I read, and this one just came out on May 10th, and it is The Ghosts of Rose Hill by R.M. Romero. This is a magical realism fantasy YA story that's written in prose. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with prose. I'm very picky when it comes to the prose that I do read, simply because it's not my normal style of reading. But I can honestly say this one got a 5 out of 5 for me. It was beautiful, it was mythological, it was lyrical. I loved every moment of this book. This follows a girl named Ilana who all she wants to do with her life is she wants to be a violinist. However, her immigrant parents have other ideas and really want her on the track for a steady job. And so in order to show her the starving artist lifestyle, they send her to live with her aunt for a summer in Prague. Now, Prague is where her father immigrated from, and he ran from Prague because a lot of bad things are happening in Prague. There were a lot of revolutions, and I don't personally know a lot about the history of Prague, and maybe it's something I should do a little more research on just so I have that background. But there was a lot happening, and so when she ended up going there, her aunt is living in poverty. But while she's there, she ends up restoring an old Jewish cemetery, and meets a ghost boy named Benjamin, and Benjamin kind of shows her the magic of Prague, and she ends up meeting more ghosts and meeting more spirits, and ends up attempting to solve a mystery as to why Benjamin and some of the other children are stuck. They are unable to move on. They are stuck in Prague centuries after they have died. And so it's very, very well done. I really enjoyed this book. I'm trying really hard not to give anything away. It is a bit predictable, but I think it was so lyrically written and so beautiful that I didn't mind. I highly recommend this book. I enjoyed the heck out of it. Like I said, it got 5 out of 5 from me. Next book that I read was Horror Hotel by Victoria Fulton and Faith McLaren. I picked this one up because TikTok told me to. And one, I absolutely love this cover. Like, look how gorgeous this cover is. It is beautiful. I also follow the artist who came up with this cover on TikTok too, and she's very interesting, very sweet. This book came out this year in February. It is a horror novel. It's a YA thriller. Basically, it tells the story of 4 YouTubers who go to a haunted hotel in order to try and capture the hauntings there and capture what's happening on film and put it up on their channel in order to attempt to hit 1 million subscribers. They're basically ghost hunters meets the Cecil Hotel. If you've ever seen that documentary or heard about the Cecil Hotel, there is a documentary on Netflix that you can check out that basically tells this story. It's very much that type of hotel where the hotel itself is haunted, and there are a lot of things happening in this book and a lot of things happening at this hotel. So it was well done. It was different, but it didn't feel original completely, which was unfortunate for me. I ended up giving it a 3.5 out of 5. It was fine, but again, it wasn't a favorite of mine because it didn't feel completely original, if that makes sense. So it was fine, but I do recommend it if you're interested in YA horror thriller and really haven't delved into it. There are trigger warnings for blood, guts, and gore, lying, I don't know, a lot. It's a horror story. Come on, I mean, there's murder. There's stuff in this story. Yeah, it's a thing. The last book that I read in the month of May was The Worst Witch by Jill Murray. This is a middle grade book. It's less than 100 pages. It's adorable. This is the story of a Mildred Hubble who attends Miss Cackle's Academy for Witches, and basically it's about a girl who doesn't really fit into the magical world as much as she would like to. This is just a cute little middle grade, early easy reader type story. There's pictures, it's large font, but it's so adorable and it's like an hour-long read. So I recommend it. I gave it a 4 out of 5. It was good. It was cute. So this book actually came out back in 1991, so it's about as old as I am. And this reads like a 90s book, and I absolutely love it. It had me reminiscing about books like Witches by Roald Dahl. Those kinds of books. It had me reminiscing in that sort of era, and I absolutely loved it. So highly recommend it for my 90s readers if you just want a flashback to childhood. Just pick it up, give it a shot. And that is what I managed to read in the month of May. I'm actually pretty proud of myself. I've managed to read a solid number of books for a while, for once, really. And I am happy to inform you all that I am now 14 books ahead of my reading goal for this year, which is 100 books. I'm on track to read over that, which is really nice. I've read 55 so far this year, which I'm very happy with, and I'm hoping that this keeps going and I keep this rhythm kind of moving. So yeah, that's what I got for you guys here today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, now is the perfect time to give it a thumbs up and to hit that subscribe button down below. We post videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and the occasional Sunday, and if you want to be reminded when we post these videos, please hit the little bell icon down below. And now until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep reading. Bye!